Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena, and in today's video we are going to be sewing up a Valentine's Day dress. I will link all of my fellow gals who will be participating in this video this year in the description box below. It's pretty late when I'm filming this because what is free time anymore? But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next one. Today's pattern is going to be a butterick pattern from 1950s. It is butterick in 6946 in size 14, bust 32, and I'll be making it in this really pretty tiny heart printed cotton. It's very simple cotton from Joann's fabric, and I actually think I had 4.5 yards of this fabric before I started. So that is what we'll be doing. So I don't know about you guys, but I have the tendency to overthink projects before I start. Not all, but mainly projects that I got excited about when I first started sewing as it relates to vintage. This pattern was one of the second or the first big lot of vintage patterns that I received after making my very first vintage dress. And I got really excited about it, but it definitely was out of my skill level at the time. And since getting this pattern 4 years ago, I've obviously acquired the skills to be able to make this dress, but because of all the excitement and the fact that I put it off for so long, it was kind of hard for me to pick it back up, even though I was more than capable of making it. And mentally, I just made it this thing that it was not. So finally getting around to making it, and of course, like I've known for a while, this dress is pretty simple to make, and so it is kind of sad that I put it off for as long as I did. All of this to say is I kind of get into my head about a lot of things, no matter how difficult those things are. If my brain has deemed it as important, then sometimes it takes me a little time to get around to it, and that can apply to my videos and some of the content that I make in general. So moving forward, I kind of want to give myself the opportunity to tackle projects that I have put on a pedestal, to just get them out of the way and like start working through some of these things, because this dress was a long time in the making. There are some changes that I would have made to the pattern that I did not, that I kind of knew that I probably should have, but I didn't. Should have shortened the bodice just a tad, not by much. But I'm going to be wearing a belt, so it'll be okay. And I probably also should have saved a lot of time in the end trying to put the zipper in by machine. I actually had planned to learn how to put the zipper in by hand before I started the project, but then I was so close to being done that I was like, just do it by machine. And then after messing up 2 times because of the way that the zipper is actually put on, the way that it's located, you kind of have to put the skirt in kind of weird underneath the machine to be able to get the zipper sewn. And because of the weird angle, it was kind of wonky, and I didn't want to settle, so I took it apart twice. And then eventually I was like, okay, it's time to learn to do this by hand. So I did learn how to do it by hand, and it was embarrassingly easy that I can't believe I wasted time putting it on incorrectly twice. But I figured it out. It went on really nice. It could be adjusted just a tad, but I'll have to leave it alone because I'm actually out of red thread, and I only have enough to put the hem on the bottom of the skirt, which I'm not even sure if I can hem the skirt with the amount of red thread that I have left over, and also have to hem the sleeves. So I might leave it the way that it is. I'll show you in the end. It looks fine, but because I'm using a black zipper on a red dress, the gap is just a little bit, so much that you can see the zipper underneath, but it's not too much of an issue, and it's an easy fix. So I'm really excited about this dress. I'm so glad that I made it. I'm glad that I got out of my head about it. I want to make more. I actually intended to make this dress in the long sleeve version of the dress, but because I needed the hearts to stay in the same direction instead of having some upside down parts of the print, I ended up using more fabric, trying to make sure that all of my hearts stayed in the right direction. So I had to go with the short sleeve version of this, but I plan to make it in the future with a print that's not directional, so that way I can get some sleeves cut out, because I think it'd be really cute, especially since it's still pretty chilly where I live. For the construction of this dress, I used French seams and pinking shears. I pinked the top of the bodice where it connects at the shoulders, and that's just because of the way the neck connected to the back. I needed it to be less bulky where the collar is. I'll leave a card for my video on seam finishes, my favorite ones. Since I moved, I haven't been able to set up my serger yet, so all of my garments that I've made in the new year and basically since around Christmas time have been French seamed. I kind of threw my room together as fast as possible around the holidays just to get that sewing done, because I like to get matching family pajamas, and then me and my daughter, we always match on Christmas Day in our Christmas outfits, and I didn't want to miss out on that tradition that we do, so I kind of just threw things together as quickly as I could. But I'm hoping that after the holiday season, which is Valentine's Day and Black History Month, I hope that I can take some time to slow down a little and reorganize. So things are roughly where I would like them to be, but I need to do some tweaking. I kind of left things so that way I could get a sort of sense of comfort in the room and figure out where I would prefer things to be, since now that I have a space, I have everything all in one place, and I kind of want my room to flow. So there might be a room tour in the future of this channel. I've slowly been continuing to get the gadgets and room tools and sewing things that I've needed across, like, over the years. I've been needing tools that I've kind of refused to get because I didn't have a place to keep them or a place to put them or store them, especially since I didn't have a designated room for sewing. Like, most recently, I just made tailor's hams and a sleeve ham, which I'm using now, and it's so great. And I've always known I've needed one, and I knew how useful they could be, but because I had nowhere to put it, and I didn't really want the kids playing with my stuff because they do look like balls and toys that they could play with, I just went without one for so long, and now I finally have one. I also never had a rotary tool, and most recently my husband bought me one for Christmas. He got me a cutting mat and a rotary tool, and I didn't actually need that, but I wanted to learn how to make corsets, and so it was recommended to cut the coutil that you should use a rotary tool, so he picked that up for me. And there's a bunch of other things that I would like to have, like, for one, replace my iron with a proper gravity feed iron, because I refill my iron way too much. And there's lots of other tools that I probably can't think of right at this moment that I hope to get in the future. Okay, so this is the part of the zipper I was talking about. So it's like perfect up here. It closes. And then down here, I think I sewed too close to the edge on here, so it kind of shifted it over. So I think I can't leave well enough alone, and I might take it out again and fix it, and then just I'll have to buy more thread to hem the dress. So I fixed the gap issue. It looks a lot better. I need to remove the marks still, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think in the future, I will use some sort of a hem tape or double stick tape to help keep the fabric and the zipper together while I sew. So now we're nearing the end of this video. I'm just going to start pressing the hem and getting it prepared to do the hem by hand. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, for following me on Instagram. If you do not follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram to keep up with me in real time at Serena_, as well as I do now have a Ko-fi where I'll drop the link below, and you can support me, my art, in this channel if you would like. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Let me know what you like to do for Valentine's or Galentine's Day.